guys, it's me. So really quickly I am going to do a pet peeves video. So this will be the first ever one I've done, so I hope you guys enjoy. The only real reason I'm doing it is to basically fill space, because I haven't gotten writing videos in a couple of weeks. I thought you guys might like something like this. Please don't be afraid to comment if you do want me to do more videos like this. You guys are very quiet, wink wink, so I'd love for you to comment and get your opinion on things. Alright, so I've got my list on my iPhone here, so here we go. My pet peeves are in order from the ones that least annoy me to the ones that annoy me the most. So number one is when I see a person leading their horse incorrectly and they're just sitting there wondering why their horse won't move and trying to pull it by its head and get it to move, and it's like, ugh, really? You're meant to lead your horse from their shoulder, not from their head. If you are going to lead your horse correctly, you will need to take the lead rope about 30 centimeters down from where the clip is. So if you need to give your horse a correction, you can give a sharp tug on the halter. That'll tell him no. There is no need to have a hold of your lead rope right at the end of it, and there is no need to smother your horse either by holding it right up near the clip. And I'm just going to get my bird away because he's going to annoy me with his chirping. That's the way I was taught at TAFE when we were leading the racehorses. That's the way I've always done it, and it works. What can I say? So lead your horse from the shoulder and hold the lead rope about 30 centimeters down from where the clip is. I think you'll find you get best results if you do that. And even then, if your horse doesn't respond to you properly, you can give them a tap with the whip if you have a whip in your hand, or you can alternatively start swinging your lead rope and swing it toward his hindquarter. That's the way I've been taught to lead a horse properly, and that's the way I will always do it, and I've found it works on pretty much every horse, from 3-year-old horses that I've handled that are race horses to my 25-year-old school horse that I ride. So yeah. The second thing is when I see a horse with a kick plate. I'm not sure if that's the proper name for it or not. I've actually got a picture here of what it is. Let me just enlarge it for you. So why kick plates annoy me so much is because I don't think it helps with if the horse is gonna, kick its own stomach. It doesn't. The hooves don't go anywhere near the actual stomach. And let me just focus my camera. There we go. You can see the horse's hooves here. They don't go anywhere near his stomach, or where the soft parts of his stomach are. Like, why have a kick plate if your horse's hooves are all the way up here, or possibly even further out than that? That annoys me so much. And they cost a bomb of money to buy just because they've got this little specialised piece of leather where the stomach is. And it's like, you really don't need it. If you watch your horse on a free lunge or whatever, I think you'll see that your horse doesn't go anywhere near its stomach with its hooves when it jumps. So that just annoys me really, because you're spending money on something you're not really ever gonna need. Anyway, third, when your trainer's dog comes into the arena and sits right on the track you're using. So say if you're going down the long side and you come onto the short side, and your trainer's dog walks onto the track and sits itself right in the centre line where you're going next. We've got a dog called Dolly, who actually belongs to the property owners, who are my trainer's mum and dad, funnily enough. And she loves to follow my trainer around all the time, and she'll just casually sit in the corner of the track, right where you need to go. It's like you're not ever not going to use a corner. You need it for circles and you need it for going large around the arena. So I just find it really annoying. Plus your horse can also spook if it's not very well trained or not very well desensitized. So it's all around not a really fun thing. Number 4, when your horse is in a lesson and someone comes into the arena who isn't part of your lesson and starts to lunge their horse or ride their horse in the arena. This especially miffs me if you're in a private lesson. It's like, you're taking away my space. I have paid for my private lesson. We are using this arena. You know, you're taking up the space where me and my trainer could be training. And it's like, they just walk in so casually. It's like, I've got my trainer here. It's obviously a lesson then. Why are you interrupting? Number 5 is when I see people who ride with spurs and whips. So we all know spurs and whips are mechanical aids. They're not natural aids, like your feet and your arms. And it's like, why do you need spurs if you've got a whip? They're basically for the same thing. You can tap your horse on the hindquarter with the whip. It's basically the same thing as, you know, kicking your horse with the spurs. It's going to do the same thing, send them forward. Why would you need more than one additional aid? It just, I don't see the reason for 2 of them. Yeah, you can see how annoyed I am. It's like, if your horse doesn't respond to you and you need that much help with your aids, then maybe you should get a trainer, or you should work a bit harder on getting your horse to respond more. Because if anything, your horse should only need one additional aid. That's just my opinion anyway. You shouldn't need double the power that you already have with your whip and your natural aids. So, number 6. When people look at you weirdly when you say that you're an adult beginner. This is something that I've really had trouble with. I started running when I was 15 and 16 years old. I didn't get the opportunity to ride when I was like 3 or 6 years old, like most people, because it was expensive at the time. And because we live in a fairly suburban area, we don't really have many places close to us that I could go riding. It's not that my parents didn't want me to go and ride, it's that we just literally couldn't find anywhere close and cheap enough. Templewood, I remember, was one of the places that we actually wanted to go to get me riding lessons when I first wanted to start. And it was $62 at the time for a private lesson for 45 minutes. And Templewood was about close to 45 minutes away from where we lived at the time. So yeah. Luckily they've brought their prices down now, that's why I now go there. But yeah, people just look at you weirdly, and it's like, not every single person who likes horses can afford the privilege of being able to take lessons when they're that young. And it's like, it's not that weird. Everyone has to start somewhere. So, yeah. It's just like, teach your kids some manners. For God's sake, everyone's got to start somewhere. And if we're not privileged enough to start when we're really young, well, at least we get to start later in life, you know? Number 7. When I see people with stirrups on their toes, just so they can get a deeper heel. I've got a picture of this as well. It miffs me so much. I see it more in the sort of hunter-jumper equitation ring, like the Americans do. Sorry if you are American. I do see it a bit in dressage and show jumping as well, but mainly in these sort of disciplines. Here we go. You can see, well, she's got it right on the tip of her toes just so she can get a deeper heel. Now, some people do have a naturally flexible heel. I know that I have a really flexible heel in the walk, but as soon as I do a trot transition, my heels go up and I can't seem to get my heel underneath me anymore. Sorry, I'm just going to move around, my foot's going asleep. So, yeah, I mean, everyone's got different flexibility, and I'm not saying that these people aren't flexible in their heels, naturally, but I find if I put my stirrups right on my toes, that I get greater flexibility anyway. And it just annoys me because in dressage, they always teach you to put the stirrup on the ball of your foot, because that's the most stable place it's going to be and allow you to get the best position as well and the best balance in your seat. And it just annoys me because it's like you're sacrificing your balance just so you can get a deeper heel and it will look prettier, you know? That's how I feel anyway. My foot is really annoying me, it's going numb. Alright, so that was number 7. Number 8 is when I see people with mismatched tack. I am such a perfectionist, it's actually ridiculous. When I see people with mismatched tack, like if they have a blue saddle pad on and they've got red bell boots on, or they've got a brown saddle and a black bridle, it really annoys me. I just like everything to be the same colour, and I like everything to be matchy. I'm not sure if anyone else is like that, but that's just me. Like, if it were up to me, I'd have bright colours for the, you know, spring and summer, and darker colours for winter and autumn. And I'd have them all matching, and I'd have the bridle and stirrup leathers and saddle all the same colour, and everything. But that's just me. Everyone's entitled to their own styling opinions, but it just really miffs me if I see someone wearing like a black bridle and a brown saddle. Number 9. When people stereotype the weight of people who are riding. Now, this is like a really controversial thing. As you can see, I'm quite heavy. I'm not gonna lie, I know I am. I'm in the 80 kilo range, and I basically ride mostly stocky horses, yeah. You've seen Ted and Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell's a Clydesdale cross, and Ted's a very stocky standard bred. Although I have ridden one horse called Tabby, she's a 15-1 standard bred ex-harness racer, and she's got quite a fine sort of body type. I was worried at first about her back because she's 25 years old, and I was like, she's really quite short and quite fine, and she's quite old as well, you know, am I going to be alright as an unbalanced rider on her? Because I wasn't experienced at riding at the time, I didn't quite have my balance right. And they did reassure me that I would be fine on her, and, you know, ever since then I've been like, my rides on her have been brilliant. She hasn't been sore or anything, and I know that my instructors wouldn't put me on her if I was going to hurt her in any sort of way. She's absolutely fine with my weight. She has gone off into a gallop with me before on a trail ride. Technically a gallop. My old instructor Marianne said If you really wanted to be technical, it was a really fast canter, but if you wanted to be a bit less technical, you could possibly call it a quarter of a gallop. So technically I have galloped, and she was fine afterwards. She wasn't sore or anything, even though I lost my balance a bit because I didn't expect a 25-year-old horse to be going that fast. She was fine afterwards. She carried my weight well, even though I was getting off balance. She didn't, you know, fall over or trip on herself or anything like that. And so whenever I go on a horse now, I just think, you know, if they can pull their weight in terms of, you know, if they were being driven in harness, then what they can carry on their back is usually about 20% of their total body weight, and I fit into that. I fit into that range perfectly. So when people say I'm too heavy to ride the horses I ride, it's like, well, no. I always check to see whether I am in that range. If I am not comfortable going on a horse, I will tell my instructor. And if my instructor then says, no, you're actually alright to go on this horse, I will trust them. Because they are professionals, they are qualified, and I trust that. So yeah, even though I may be a bit on the heavy side, it doesn't mean that I can't ride horses. So just clearing that up. And number 10, my biggest pet peeve of all. I'm sure a lot of people might agree with me on this. It is when a person, cleans their horse, like gives them a bath or something for a show, or just hoses them off, and then they turn them out into a paddock, and they immediately roll and get themselves all muddy, and the person just sits there like, story of my life, why does my horse do this? It's like, at TAFE, they taught us, in order for the horse not to get dirty after it's been cleaned, hold on to it. Simple as that. Get a halter and lead rope, and let your horse just graze on a bit of grass, and you can relax beside him or do some trick training or something to keep him amused from rolling in the mud. Simple as that. If you don't want your horse to roll, don't let him do it. Have a halter and lead rope, hold him for half an hour to an hour until he dries, and then let him go. It's so simple, and people don't seem to really get the concept that if they actually keep hold of their horses, or at least, you know, keep track of them, then they're less likely to roll in the mud and get dirty again. So yeah, that's it for my pet peeves video. There were only 10 that I could actually think of quite easily, so I hope you enjoyed what I said, and yeah, if you like these sort of videos, I can do a couple more. I've got a couple more that I would be quite interested in doing, so comment below, don't be shy. I know you guys don't tend to really put comments on my videos, but I don't bite, I swear. I do have my own opinion about things that may be different from yours, but I certainly won't put you down for putting your own opinion on my videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry about my bird constantly chirping in the background, but it's because I'm talking and he knows something's going on. But anyway, I should have a riding video up hopefully next week. I'm back on Ted after about a 7-month hiatus from riding him, so yeah, should be interesting for you guys to see me riding him again. Bye!